The coffee maker sputters its last drops into my chipped mug, the one that says, World's Best Mom in fading letters. My daughter Emma bought it for me at a school fundraiser 3 years ago with her own allowance. I wrap my hands around it now, letting the warmth seep into my perpetually cold fingers. It's 5:47 a.m., and I've been awake since 4:30, meal prepping lunches for my kids while mentally rehearsing today's board meeting notes. My name is Marianne Clark, and I'm a secretary. Not an administrative professional, not an executive assistant, just a secretary, according to my parents. The way they say it, with that particular curl of the lip, that dismissive little exhale, you'd think I was scraping gum off sidewalks for a living. Mommy, 7-year-old Lucas shuffles into our kitchen, dragging his dinosaur blanket behind him. His hair sticks up in 12 different directions. Is it school day? It's school day, baby. I set down my coffee and kneel to his level, smoothing those impossible cowlicks. Go wake your sister, okay? Gentle like we practiced. He nods solemnly and toddles back down the hallway of our cramped 2-bedroom apartment. I can afford exactly 1.5 rooms per child, if you count the living room where I sleep on the pull-out couch. The kids need their own space more than I do. That's what I tell myself when my back screams from the broken spring that digs into my spine every night. I'm 29 years old. I have 2 kids, an ex-husband who sends child support exactly never, and parents who think I'm wasting my college degree. The degree in question? Business administration from a decent state school. I graduated with a 3.7 GPA, summa cum laude, and a plan to climb the corporate ladder. Then I met Derek at my first job. He had a smile that could melt glaciers and promises that evaporated like morning fog. 2 kids, and 5 years later, he decided fatherhood wasn't his vibe and moved to Portland with a yoga instructor named Sage. My parents' response, well, Marianne, you always did make impulsive decisions. I pull out the lunch boxes, one with superheroes, one with unicorns, and start packing. Peanut butter sandwiches because we're out of deli meat. Apple slices with lemon juice so they don't brown. Carrots that Lucas will trade for someone's chips, but at least I tried. A small pack of cookies each, the store brand that comes 30 to a box for $3. Emma appears in the doorway, already dressed in the clothes she laid out last night. She's 9 going on 40, my beautiful, serious girl with my dark hair and Derek's green eyes. The eyes are the only good thing he left behind. Mom, you forgot to sign my permission slip. She holds out a crumpled paper. For the museum trip, it's due today. Guilt knifes through my chest. Baby, I'm so sorry, I'll sign it right now. I scribble my signature while mentally calculating. $15 for the field trip, plus 10 for lunch there, plus they're supposed to bring money for the gift shop. $35 I don't have until Friday's paycheck. I'll have to call the school, ask if she can pay later, endure that particular flavor of humiliation reserved for parents who can't afford a simple field trip. Mrs. Martinez said if we can't pay, there's a fund, Emma says quietly, reading my face like she always does. 9 years old and already trained to manage her mother's anxiety. It's okay, Mom. It's not okay. Nothing about this is okay. You're going on that trip, I tell her firmly. I'll figure it out. I always figure it out. That's what I do. I figure things out with spreadsheets and determination and an alarming amount of coffee. I make $12 an hour answering phones, managing calendars for 3 executives, and somehow keeping the entire sales department from imploding. I'm the person who remembers everyone's anniversary, who orders the cake for birthdays, who knows exactly which vendor to call when the copier jams. I'm also the person my parents won't help. Have you asked your parents? My friend Shanna said last week when I was venting about childcare costs. I mean, they're retired, they've got time. I laughed so hard I nearly choked on my lunch. My parents watch my kids so I can go to my little job. Shanice, they'd rather walk barefoot over hot coals. I wasn't exaggerating. The memory surfaces like a bruise you can't stop pressing. 3 weeks ago, standing in my parents' immaculate living room with its cream carpet and its framed photos of my brother accepting various awards. I'd driven 40 minutes to their house in the suburbs, kids in tow, to ask for help. Mom, Dad, I need to ask you something. I twisted my hands together, hating how small my voice sounded. My babysitter is moving, and I can't afford the new daycare rates. I was wondering if maybe, just a few days a week, you could. Watch your children? My mother, Patricia Clark, former PTA president and current garden club chair, set down her book with exaggerated care. Marianne, we raised our children. We did our time. It would just be until I can save enough for. You need to figure this out yourself. My father didn't even look up from his newspaper. Richard Clark, retired insurance executive, a man who once told me I was his little princess, and now can barely stand to be in the same room with my life choices. We're not a free childcare service. I'm not asking for free. I could pay you something, maybe $20 a day. My mother actually laughed. $20? Marianne, do you know what professional childcare costs? This is exactly what we're talking about. You have no sense of the real value of things. Lucas had been standing beside me, holding my hand. He looked up at his grandmother with those big, trusting eyes and said, "Grandma, do you not like us?" The silence that followed could have shattered glass. "Of course we like you, dear," my mother said in that bright, false voice people use with children they're trying to placate. "But grown-ups have their own lives. Your mother needs to learn to stand on her own 2 feet." I left with my kids and my dignity in tatters. In the car, Emma asked why I was crying. I told her it was allergies. Now, standing in my kitchen at 6:15 in the morning, I shake off the memory and focus on the tasks at hand. Lunch is packed. Kids fed and dressed. My own appearance, black slacks from Target, white blouse I've ironed so many times the collar's going threadbare, hair pulled into a neat bun. Professional, invisible, exactly what a secretary should look like. The commute is a 40-minute bus ride because my car died last month and I can't afford the repairs. We drop Lucas at his elementary school first, then Emma at hers, then I make 2 more connections to reach the glass and steel building downtown where I work for Hendricks and Associates, a mid-sized consulting firm. I'm at my desk by 8:45, 15 minutes early like always. My workspace is a small cubicle outside 3 executive offices. I've decorated it with photos of my kids and a small succulent that I've somehow kept alive for 2 years, a minor miracle given my track record with living things. "Morning, Marianne." Gerald Hendricks himself walks past, coffee in hand. He's in his late 60s, silver-haired, the kind of man who wears kindness like a well-tailored suit. "How are those reports coming?" "They'll be ready by 10, Mr. Hendricks." "You're a lifesaver, don't know what we'd do without you." It's a throwaway comment, the kind bosses make without thinking. But I hold on to it anyway, let it warm me like that coffee mug this morning. Someone notices, someone appreciates. The day unfolds in its usual rhythm. Phones ringing, emails flying, a crisis with a client presentation that I solve by finding a backup file from 3 months ago. I eat lunch at my desk, leftover pasta from last night's dinner, while formatting a proposal. At 2:30, I get a call from Lucas's school. "Mrs. Clark, this is Nurse Henderson. Lucas says his stomach hurts, but he doesn't have a fever. I think he's just having a hard day." Translation: your kid needs attention and comfort, but it's not urgent enough to require pickup. Can you handle this from work? I call Lucas, tell him I love him, that I'll make his favorite dinner tonight. Promise to read extra stories at bedtime. Feel the familiar guilt settle over my shoulders like a weighted blanket. At 5 o'clock, I pack up and do the commute in reverse. Pick up Emma, pick up Lucas, navigate the bus with a tired 7-year-old who keeps asking when we can get our car fixed. Make dinner, chicken nuggets and frozen vegetables, because I don't have the energy for anything more elaborate. Help Emma with homework while Lucas builds an elaborate dinosaur battle scene on the living room floor. Bath time, story time, tucking them in with kisses and whispered I love yous. Then I collapse on the pull-out couch and stare at the ceiling, too exhausted to even pull up Netflix on my phone. This is my life. This is what my parents dismiss as just being a secretary. The weekend brings its own challenges. Saturday means laundry at the laundromat because our building's machines are broken again. It means grocery shopping with 2 kids and a calculator, choosing store brands, putting back the juice boxes when I realize I've overspent by $8. It means ignoring my mother's text. Your brother and Chloe bought a house? 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, so proud of them. My brother Jason is 32, 3 years older than me. He's a financial analyst with a corner office and a wife who does something in marketing. They have no kids, 2 cars, and apparently now a house that my parents can't stop talking about. I text back, "That's great, happy for them." What I don't say, "Remember when I graduated with honors and you took us to Applebee's? Jason got a week in Maui for his graduation. Remember when I got this job and you asked if it was just temporary? Jason's first job came with a champagne toast. Remember when I needed help and you said no?" Sunday is meal prep for the week, which I do during nap time. Wait, my kids don't nap anymore. They just exist in a state of constant motion. I do meal prep while they watch a movie, feeling guilty about the screen time but needing the 90 minutes of peace. My phone rings, my mother's face fills the screen. I consider not answering, but the habit of obedience runs deep even now. Ty's mom. Marianne, are you coming to the family dinner next Saturday? Jason and Chloe will be there. We want to celebrate the new house. Of course they do. I'll have to check if I can get a sitter. Oh, can't you just bring the children? They'll be fine. Right? They'll be fine in a house full of white furniture and judging eyes, where Lucas will inevitably spill something and Emma will be too quiet because she can sense the tension. I'll let you know, I say, which is code for, probably not, but I don't have the energy for this argument. You know, Marianne, your father and I were talking. If you're still struggling financially, maybe you should consider going back to school. Get an MBA, move into management. Being a secretary is fine for now, but you have 2 children to support. The words land like slaps. Fine for now, just a secretary. As if I haven't applied for 17 different positions in the last year. As if I don't spend my lunch breaks taking online courses in project management and business analytics. As if upward mobility is just a matter of wanting it hard enough. I'm doing the best I can, Mom. Well, sometimes our best needs to be better, dear. Look at Jason. I have to go, dinner's burning. It's not, but I can't listen to another word. I hang up and stand in my tiny kitchen, hands braced against the counter, breathing hard. Through the doorway, I can hear Emma and Lucas laughing at something in their movie. That sound, that pure, unself-conscious joy, is the only thing that keeps me standing. Monday morning crashes in like a wave. Emma wakes up with a slight fever, not enough to stay home, according to the school's policy, but enough that I send extra tissues in her backpack and feel guilty all day. Lucas can't find his library book and has a meltdown that makes us 7 minutes late. 7 minutes means I miss my first bus, which means I'm 12 minutes late to work, which means I walk in flustered and apologetic to find all 3 executives waiting for me with questions about a meeting I was supposed to set up. I'm so sorry, I say, breathless, dumping my bag at my desk. I'll handle it right now. By lunchtime, I've fielded 32 calls, rescheduled 4 meetings, solved a crisis with a vendor, and haven't had time to eat the granola bar in my purse. My head pounds. My feet ache in these cheap heels. Gerald Hendricks stops by my desk at 3. Marianne, do you have a moment? My heart drops. Late this morning, couldn't set up that meeting fast enough, probably about to get a talking to about time management. Of course, Mr. Hendricks. We step into his office. Wood paneling, leather chairs, windows overlooking the city. I perch on the edge of the visitor's chair while he settles behind his massive desk. I wanted to talk to you about your work, he begins, and I brace myself. You've been with us for 3 years now, is that right? 3 years in January, sir. You're one of the most reliable people in this office. You know that, don't you? I blink. This is not the conversation I was expecting. I try my best. You do more than try, you succeed. Every day without fail, no matter what's happening in your personal life. He leans back in his chair, studying me. I know it's not easy, raising 2 kids on your own. My wife did it for a year when I was deployed overseas. Hardest thing she ever did, she said. Something in my chest loosens slightly. Thank you, sir, that means a lot. I'm not just blowing smoke, Marianne, I mean it. This place would fall apart without you. He pauses. I'm planning some changes in the new year. I can't say more yet, but I want you to know you're valued here, genuinely valued. I leave his office feeling lighter than I have in weeks. Someone sees me, someone understands. That night, I splurge on pizza for the kids. Not delivery, just frozen from the grocery store, but they treat it like a feast. We eat on the floor of the living room, having a picnic, and for once I let myself be present instead of worrying about tomorrow's lunches or overdue bills. Mom, you're smiling, Emma observes. You don't smile a lot anymore. The comment hits harder than any criticism from my parents ever could. I'm happy right now, I tell her, pulling both kids close. Right here with you too. This is my favorite place to be. Lucas snuggles into my side. Can we watch a movie? We watch Mona for the 18th time. I mouth along with the songs and let the stress drain out of my shoulders, and for 2 hours, everything is okay. The week continues its relentless march. Wednesday brings an unexpected bill, Lucas's school pictures, which I forgot to budget for. Thursday, Emma's class is doing a Thanksgiving project and needs supplies I don't have. Friday, my father texts, "Your mother wants to know about dinner Saturday, need head count." The family dinner, the celebration of Jason's success, where I'll be the cautionary tale in the corner. I text back, "Can't make it, no sitter available." His response comes 30 seconds later, "This is important to your mother, make it work." Make it work, figure it out yourself. Do better, the refrains of my life. Saturday morning, I call Shanice in desperation. "Any chance you could watch the kids tonight? I know it's last minute." "Girl, I would, but Darnell's mom is visiting, and we're doing a whole thing. I'm sorry." I try 2 other friends. No luck. I even, in a moment of desperation, look up babysitting services, but the cheapest option is $45 for 4 hours. I don't have $45 in my checking account until payday Monday. I text my mother, "Sorry, couldn't find childcare. We'll catch up with everyone soon." Her response makes my phone feel heavy. "You're being selfish. This is about family, Marianne. Jason is so disappointed." Jason, who hasn't called me in 4 months. Jason, who sends my kids birthday cards with $20 each and considers his uncle duties fulfilled. Jason is disappointed in me. I turn off my phone and take my kids to the park. We feed ducks with stale bread and swing until Lucas gets dizzy. Emma collects fall leaves and makes a bouquet. No one mentions grandparents or family dinners or disappointment. That night, after they're asleep, I sit in the dark of my living room and let myself cry. Not the pretty, cinematic kind of crying, the ugly kind, where your face gets splotchy and your nose runs, and you have to muffle the sounds so you don't wake your kids. I'm so tired. I'm so deeply, bone-achingly tired of trying to be enough when enough keeps moving further away. Sunday passes in a haze of chores and forced normalcy. Monday morning, I drag myself out of bed at 4:30 again, start the coffee, pack the lunches. The routine is the only thing holding me together. At work, the office feels different. Quieter somehow. Gerald Hendricks isn't in yet, which is unusual. He's always the first to arrive. His office door is closed. By 10 o'clock, whispers are circulating. By noon, we have confirmation. Gerald Hendricks had a heart attack Saturday night. He's in the hospital, stable but serious. The office feels like it's holding its breath. Work continues because it has to, but there's a heaviness in the air. Gerald's been with this company for 30 years. He built it from nothing. He's the kind of boss who knows everyone's name, who brings donuts on Fridays, who actually cares. I find myself staring at the photo on my desk, the one of him at the company holiday party last year, with his arm around his wife Mary, both of them laughing. He's not just my boss. He's been kind to me in a world that often isn't. The week drags on. Gerald is still hospitalized. His son keeps us updated via email, stable, improving, but it was a close call. The office feels adrift without him. Thursday night, I'm washing dishes when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. "Is this Marianne Clark?" "Yes, this is she." "Ms. Clark, this is Robert Hendricks, Gerald's son. We met briefly at the Christmas party last year." My heart starts pounding. "Yes, of course, how is your father?" "He's doing better, thank you. Listen, there's something I need to tell you, and I wanted to do it personally rather than through the lawyers." "Lawyers, I don't understand." My father updated his will 3 months ago. I only just found out myself when we were going through his documents. "Ms. Clark, he left you something." The dish in my hand slips back into the soapy water with a splash. "I'm sorry, what?" "It's significant. I think it's better if we discuss this in person. Could you come to my father's attorney's office tomorrow? Say 10 o'clock. I have work. This is about your future, Ms. Clark. I think your bosses will understand. I agree because I don't know what else to do. After I hang up, I stand in my kitchen, hands dripping suds, trying to process what just happened. Gerald left me something, in his will. Why would he do that? Friday morning, I take a personal day, burning one of my precious few for a meeting I don't understand. I drop the kids at school and take the bus to an office building downtown, fancier than any place I've ever had business being. The law offices of Morrison, Chase and Associates occupy the entire 23rd floor. Everything is glass and chrome and expensive leather. The receptionist points me to a conference room where Robert Hendricks waits with two lawyers. Robert looks like a younger version of his father, same kind eyes, same solid handshake. Ms. Clark, thank you for coming. Please sit. I sit, purse clutched in my lap like a shield. One of the lawyers, a woman in her 50s with steel gray hair, opens a folder. Ms. Clark, I'm Patricia Morrison. I've been Gerald Hendricks' attorney for 15 years. 3 months ago, he came to me with some changes to his estate planning. She slides a document across the table. I stare at the words but can't make sense of them. Numbers swim before my eyes. Mr. Hendricks wanted to ensure that several people who had been important to his professional life were taken care of. You are one of those people. I don't understand, I whisper. I'm just his secretary. Robert leans forward. Miss Clark, Marianne, if I may, my father spoke about you often. He said you were the backbone of that office. He said you worked harder than anyone else, always with a smile, always making everyone else's jobs easier. He knew about your kids. He knew you were struggling. The room feels too small suddenly, too warm. He left you $150,000, Patricia Morrison says clearly. Additionally, he's transferred a 5% ownership stake in Hendricks and Associates to you. That stake currently generates approximately $30,000 annually in dividends, and you'll have a say in major business decisions going forward. The words don't land at first. They hover in the air like impossible birds. $150,000. 5% ownership. I can't finish the sentence, can't breathe properly. It's real, Robert says gently. My father was very clear about his wishes. He wanted you to have security. He wanted your kids to have opportunities. He said, and I remember this because it struck me, he said, Marianne Clark is the kind of person who makes everyone around her better. It's time someone made her life better. I burst into tears. Right there, in this fancy conference room with these lawyers and Gerald's son, I cover my face and sob like a child. All the exhaustion, all the fear, all the times I've laid awake calculating whether I could afford new shoes for Lucas, it all comes pouring out. Someone presses tissues into my hand. Someone else brings water. They wait patiently while I fall apart and piece myself back together. I'm sorry, I finally manage. I can't believe. You don't need to apologize, Patricia says. This is life-changing news. Take all the time you need. We spend the next hour going over details. Paperwork to sign, accounts to set up, tax implications to understand. The $150,000 will be transferred within a week. The ownership stake is already active. I'm officially a part owner of the company, where I've been answering phones for 3 years. There's one more thing, Robert says as we're wrapping up. My father left letters for several people. Yours is here. He hands me a cream-colored envelope with my name, written in Gerald's distinctive script. My hands shake as I open it. Dear Marianne, if you're reading this, then I've shuffled off this mortal coil sooner than expected, and I hope I managed to do so with at least a modicum of dignity. Mary always said I was dramatic. She's probably right. I want you to know something I should have said more often. You are extraordinary, not because of what you do, though you do it brilliantly, but because of who you are. You show up every day with grace and determination despite circumstances that would break most people. You treat everyone with kindness. You make the hard look easy. I've watched you for 3 years now, Marianne. I've seen you come in early and stay late. I've seen you solve on the fly, manage personalities that would challenge a UN diplomat, and still have patience left over for your children when you get home. I've seen you maintain your dignity when life has given you every reason to lose it. The money and the ownership stake aren't charity, they're recognition. You've earned every penny through your dedication and excellence. But more than that, I want you to have choices. I want you to be able to breathe without calculating the cost. I want your children to have opportunities. I want you to know that someone saw you, really saw you, and valued what they saw. You are not just anything, Marianne Clark. You are remarkable. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. With respect and admiration, Gerald Hendricks. I read it 3 times before I can put it down. By the end, I'm crying again, but these tears feel different. Cleaner somehow. When I finally leave the law office, it's past noon. I walk out into the November sunshine and just stand there on the sidewalk, feeling the world shift on its axis. I have $150,000. I have a 5% stake in a successful company. I have options. I have proof that someone believed in me. The first person I call is Shanice. She screams so loud I have to hold the phone away from my ear. Girl, what? I need you to repeat that. I'm laughing and crying at the same time, standing on a downtown street corner like a lunatic. People walk past giving me strange looks. I don't care. I'm going to be okay, I tell her. Shanice, we're going to be okay. You were always going to be okay, she says fiercely. But now you're going to be better than okay. You're going to be amazing. I don't call my parents. Not yet. I need time to process this, to figure out what it means before I subject it to their particular brand of judgment. Instead, I pick up my kids from school early, something I never do, but today is special even if they don't know why yet. We go to the park, and then I take them to a real restaurant, not fast food, but an actual sit-down place with a waitress and everything. Mom, is it someone's birthday? Lucas asks, confused by this break in routine. Nope, I just wanted to celebrate my 2 favorite people in the world. Emma studies me with those 2 old eyes. Something happened, something good. Something very good, I confirm, but I want to think about it a bit before I explain. Is that okay? She nods solemnly, and we order burgers and milkshakes, and I don't look at the prices once. That night, after the kids are in bed, I open my laptop and start making lists. Not how to spend the money, not yet, but what this means. What changes, what becomes possible. First priority, stability. A real apartment, maybe even a small house. Something where the kids can have separate rooms and I don't sleep on a couch with a spring in my spine. Second, their future, college funds. Actually real ones, not just my vague hopes and plans. Third, my own growth. Maybe that MBA my mother keeps throwing in my face, or maybe something else entirely. For the first time in years, I can actually consider options. But underneath all the practical planning, there's something else growing. A sense of validation so profound it makes my chest ache. Gerald Hendricks saw me. He saw past just a secretary to the person working herself to the bone to build a life for her children. He saw my value when my own parents couldn't. The week passes in a blur of paperwork and planning. The money hits my account on Wednesday, $150,000, less taxes, still more than I've ever had in my life. I stare at the number on my phone screen until my eyes water. Gerald is released from the hospital Friday. He's under strict orders to rest, but he calls me himself. Marianne, it's Gerald. Mr. Hendricks, how are you feeling? Like I got hit by a truck, then backed over for good measure. His voice is weaker than usual but still warm. But I'm alive, which is more than it could have been. Robert tells me you met with the lawyers. Mr. Hendricks, I don't know what to say. Thank you seems completely inadequate. Then don't say it, just promise me you'll use it well. Give those kids of yours a good life. Maybe take a vacation once in a while. Live a little, Marianne. You've been so busy surviving, you've forgotten how to live. His words hit home hard, I promise. Good, now I'm supposed to be resting, so Mary's giving me the evil eye. I'll see you when I'm back in the office. Looking forward to it, take care of yourself. After I hang up, I sit with his words. You've been so busy surviving, you've forgotten how to live. He's right. When was the last time I did something just for joy? When did everything become about scarcity and calculation? Saturday morning, I wake up with a sense of purpose. It's been 2 weeks since Gerald's heart attack, 1 week since I learned about the inheritance. Time to take the next step. So I call my mother. Marianne, finally, you've been ignoring us. I haven't been ignoring you, Mom. I've been processing something. Can I come over today? I need to talk to you and Dad. Well, Jason and Chloe are coming for lunch. Can it wait? Perfect. Actually, I'd like to see them too. Would 1 o'clock work? I can hear her surprise. I suppose so. Will you bring the children? Yes, we'll all be there. I spend the morning with Emma and Lucas, explaining as much as I think they can understand. Something really good happened at work. We're going to have some changes, good changes, and I want to tell the whole family about it. Will Grandma and Grandpa be happy? Lucas asks. The innocent question cuts deeper than he knows. I think so, buddy. We arrive at my parents' house at exactly 1 o'clock. My father's car is in the driveway next to Jason's new Audi. I park my rental. I'm using some of the money to get my car properly fixed, but it's not ready yet, and take a deep breath. Ready, guys. Emma takes my hand. At 9, she already knows family gatherings are complicated. We're ready, Mom. My mother opens the door with her practiced smile, the one that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Marianne, children, come in, come in. The house smells like her signature pot roast. Everything is immaculate as always, the cream carpet spotless, the family photos arranged just so on the mantel. Jason's awards prominently displayed. The one photo of me is from high school, tucked in the back. Hey, sis. Jason appears from the living room, Chloe at his side. He's wearing a casual button-down that probably cost more than my weekly grocery budget. Used to cost more than my weekly grocery budget. I need to adjust my thinking. Hey, Jason, Chloe, good to see you. We settle in the living room, adults on the furniture, kids sent to the den with tablets. My mother brings out cheese and crackers, while my father pours wine I know I won't drink because I have to drive home. So, Marianne, what was so important? My mother perches on her chair, curiosity and skepticism warring on her face. I set down my water glass and meet her eyes. I wanted to tell you all some news about work. Oh, my father looks up from his wine. Did you finally apply for something better? The jab is automatic, reflexive. I don't let it land. Actually, something unexpected happened. You know my boss, Gerald Hendricks? He had a heart attack 2 weeks ago. My mother's hand flies to her chest. Oh, how terrible. He's okay, recovering at home, but it turns out that a few months ago, he updated his will. I pause, savoring this moment despite myself. He left me $150,000 and a 5% ownership stake in the company. The silence is absolute. Jason speaks first. He what? He left me money and part of the company, as recognition for my work and dedication. His son called it ensuring that people who were important to his professional life were taken care of. My mother's face has gone through several colors. Marianne, that's wonderful, but why would he? Because I'm good at my job, Mom. Because I work hard. Because I matter to that company. But you're a secretary. My father says it like he's stating a fundamental truth of the universe. I'm an administrative professional who has kept that office running for 3 years, who handles complex scheduling, vendor relationships, crisis management, and client relations, who is trusted with sensitive information and expected to exercise sound judgment daily. I'm not raising my voice. I don't need to. Mr. Hendricks saw that. He valued it, and he wanted to make sure my children and I had security and opportunity. Chloe leans forward. Marianne, that's incredible. Congratulations. At least someone has manners. Jason still looks stunned. How much did you say? $150,000, plus the ownership stake, generates about $30,000 annually. I'm also being considered for an operations manager position now that I have a stake in the company's success. Well, my mother sets down her wine glass with a sharp click. This is quite the surprise. Is it? I ask quietly. Is it really surprising that someone might value my work, that someone might see me as more than just a secretary? The air in the room shifts. Jason shifts uncomfortably on the couch. My father clears his throat. Now, Marianne, I don't think anyone said. You did, Dad. You've both said it multiple times. Just a secretary. Just a little job. Figure it out yourself. My voice stays level, but I let each phrase land with weight. 3 weeks ago, I came here and asked for help with childcare. Not money, just help, time with your grandchildren. And you told me you'd done your time, that I needed to stand on my own 2 feet. My mother's face flushes. We were trying to teach you independence. I've been independent since Derek left. I've been independent while working full-time and raising 2 kids alone. I've been independent through broken cars and overdue bills and nights when I couldn't afford both dinner and rent. I'm not angry. I'm just done. What I needed wasn't a lesson in independence. I needed family. That's not fair, Jason interjects. Mom and Dad have always. Always what, Jason? Always been there for you. Yes, they have. They celebrated your achievements. They helped with your down payment, didn't they? The silence confirms it. I'm not begrudging you that, I continue. You're their son, they love you. But I'm their daughter, and I've spent years feeling like I don't measure up because I chose a different path. Because my job isn't impressive enough. Because I had kids young and got divorced and work in an office instead of a corner suite. Marianne, you're being dramatic, my mother says, but her voice wavers. Am I? Tell me, Mom, when was the last time you told me you were proud of me? Not proud that I figured it out, but actually proud of who I am and what I've accomplished. She opens her mouth, closes it, no answer comes. The dining room clock ticks loudly in the silence. I didn't come here to make you feel bad, I say finally. I came to share good news with my family, but I also came to tell you that things are going to change. I'm moving the kids and me into a better place. I'm setting up college funds. I'm building a life where they don't have to worry about whether we can afford field trips or new shoes. That's wonderful, honey, my father says, but it sounds like he's reading from a script. I hope you'll be part of that life. I really do. Emma and Lucas deserve grandparents who see them as blessings, not burdens, who want to spend time with them, not out of obligation, but because they're amazing kids. We do want that, my mother says quickly. Of course we do. Then I need you to stop treating my career like it's something I'll grow out of. Stop comparing me to Jason like we're in a competition. Stop acting like my worth is tied to my job title or my salary. Jason shifts again. Sis, I never meant. I know you didn't. You've been living your life and that's fine. But Mom and Dad have spent years holding you up as the standard I'm failing to meet. And that ends now. Chloe touches Jason's arm. I think what Marianne's saying is fair. I've noticed it too, honey, at family gatherings. Jason looks surprised, then thoughtful. I didn't realize. I'm sorry, Marianne. It's not a fix, but it's something. Thank you. My mother dabs at her eyes with a napkin. We didn't mean to make you feel that way. We just wanted better for you. Better according to whose definition, Mom? I have 2 healthy, happy kids. I have a job where I'm valued. I have friends who support me. I have enough and now I have more than enough. That is better. That's my version of success. My father stands abruptly and walks to the window, hands in his pockets. When he turns back, his eyes are red. Your mother and I, we came from nothing. We worked hard so you kids wouldn't have to struggle like we did. When we see you working so hard, barely making ends meet, it kills us. This is the most vulnerable I've seen him in years. But instead of helping, you criticized, I say softly. You made me feel like I wasn't trying hard enough. Like if I just worked harder, wanted it more, everything would fall into place. We were wrong, he says, and the words sound like they cost him. We should have helped, we should have been there. My mother is crying now, mascara tracking down her cheeks. We're so proud of you, Marianne. We are. We just don't know how to show it. Start by saying it. Start by spending time with your grandchildren without making me feel like I'm imposing. Start by respecting that my path looks different from what you imagined, and that's okay. She nods, pulling tissues from the box on the side table. We can do that. We want to do that. Lucas appears in the doorway, holding his tablet. Mom, can we have snacks? The tension breaks slightly. My mother stands. Of course, sweetheart, come with Grandma to the kitchen. Lucas hesitates, looking at me for permission. I nod, and he takes her hand. It's a small thing, but it matters. We don't resolve everything over one conversation. Life isn't a movie where people have dramatic revelations and everything magically fixes itself. But we make a start. Over pot roast and potatoes, the conversation gradually shifts to safer topics. Jason tells me about the new house, actually shows me photos with genuine enthusiasm instead of bragging. Chloe asks about the kids, really asks, and listens to my answers. My parents try. They're awkward about it, decades of patterns hard to break, but they try. My father asks Lucas about school. My mother saves the biggest piece of pie for Emma. As we're leaving, my mother pulls me aside. Will you come back for Thanksgiving, please? We'll see, Mom. I need to think about what's best for the kids. Fair enough. She hugs me, really hugs me, not the air kiss cheek touch she usually does. I'm sorry, Marianne, for all of it. I know, Mom. In the car, Emma asks, did you and Grandma have a fight? More like a talk we should have had a long time ago. Sometimes grown-ups need to be honest about their feelings, even when it's hard. Did it help? I think about my mother's tears, my father's admission, Jason's surprise. Yeah, baby, I think it did. The next week unfolds with a surreal quality. I'm still going to work, but now I'm not just the secretary, I'm a part owner. The other executives know about the inheritance, and their treatment of me shifts subtly. More respect, more consultation. I'm invited to meetings I would have taken notes for before. Gerald returns to the office part-time. He looks frailer, moves slower, but his spirit is intact. He calls me into his office on his first day back. Marianne, sit please. I settle into the chair across from his desk, the same place I sat 3 weeks ago when he told me I was valued. I hear you've been doing excellent work in my absence, not surprising. He leans back carefully, mindful of his healing body. Robert told me you were surprised by the will. That's an understatement, sir. I meant every word in that letter. You know that, right? This wasn't pity or charity, you earned it. I'm starting to believe that. Good, now I want to talk about your future here. As part owner, you have a say in how this company runs. But more than that, I'd like you to consider moving into a management role. Operations manager, specifically. You already do half the job, might as well make it official and pay you properly for it. My breath catches. Mr. Hendricks, I don't have an MBA, I haven't. You have 3 years of experience keeping this place running. You have instincts that can't be taught in any business school. You have the respect of everyone here, from the mailroom to the executive team. What you don't have is the confidence, and that's my fault for not building it sooner. I need to think about it. Of course, take your time, but Marianne, you're not just anything. The sooner you believe that, the sooner everyone else will too. That afternoon, I'm at my desk when my phone buzzes. My mother. Ty's mom. Marianne, I was thinking, would you and the kids like to come over Saturday? Not for anything formal, just to spend time together. We could take the children to that museum they've been wanting to visit. It's such a small thing, such a normal grandparent thing, but for us, it's monumental. They'd love that, Mom. Wonderful, and Marianne, I've been thinking about what you said about being proud of you. I'm so proud of the mother you are, of how hard you work, of the person you've become despite, she pauses, despite us not being the parents we should have been. My eyes burn. Thanks, Mom, that means a lot. See you Saturday, dear. I hang up and stare at my computer screen without seeing it. Change is happening. Slowly, awkwardly, but genuinely. The weeks roll forward. I find an apartment, a real one with 3 bedrooms and a small balcony. It's in a better neighborhood with good schools. The kids are thrilled. Emma gets her own room for the first time in her life. Lucas chooses dinosaur bedding and a lamp shaped like a T-Rex. I don't sleep on a pull-out couch anymore. I have a real bed in a real bedroom with a door that closes. It's such a simple thing, but the first night I sleep there, I cry with relief. My parents come to the new apartment with a housewarming gift, a nice set of dishes, and a promise to babysit every Tuesday so I can take an evening class. It's a start. Jason and Chloe visit too. Jason is tentative, clearly still processing his role in the family dynamic, but he sits on the floor and builds Legos with Lucas, and when Emma shows him her book collection, he listens like it matters. I really am happy for you, he tells me as they're leaving, and I'm sorry. I was so focused on my own stuff, I didn't see how hard things were for you. You weren't supposed to fix it, Jason. I just needed you to acknowledge it. I do now, and if you ever need anything, I know where you are. Work becomes something different. I start the operations manager role in January with a salary that makes me dizzy. I'm learning and growing and occasionally terrified, but I'm also good at it. Gerald was right, I already knew how to do most of it. I just needed permission to own it. The ownership stake means I'm involved in business decisions. My voice matters. People listen when I speak. It's intoxicating and terrifying and wonderful all at once. In February, my mother starts taking the kids every Tuesday like she promised. She picks them up from school, takes them for ice cream, helps with homework. She's awkward sometimes, tries too hard others, but she shows up. Week after week, she shows up. My father comes too, less frequently but meaningfully. He teaches Lucas about cars when mine breaks down again. He takes Emma to a father-daughter event at her school when I mention I can't go because of work, and he doesn't make it weird or bring up my ex. They're trying, it's not perfect, but it's real. In March, I enroll in an MBA program, part-time, online, manageable. Not because my parents think I should, but because I want to. Because I have goals now that aren't just survival. Shanice throws me a "you're not broke anymore" party. It's silly and wonderful, and she makes a cake that says, from secretary to CEO, even though I'm not a CEO and probably never will be. It's the thought that counts. You did it, she tells me, hugging me tight. You survived it all and you came out stronger. I had help, Gerald, the universe deciding to cut me a break. No, girl, you did this. You showed up every day and worked your ass off and never gave up on yourself, even when everyone else did. Gerald saw that. He rewarded what was already there. Maybe she's right. Maybe the money and the opportunity were just catalysts for something I'd been building all along. A sense of my own worth, independent of anyone else's validation. One Saturday in April, I take the kids to the park. Not our old park with the rusty swings, but a new one with modern equipment and a splash pad. It's warm enough that they shed jackets and run wild, and I sit on a bench in the sunshine and just watch them. Emma is laughing, really laughing, the sound pure and unself-conscious. Lucas is making friends with another kid at the slide. They're happy, they're secure, they don't worry about money or whether we can afford things. That was the goal all along, not wealth for its own sake but freedom from constant fear, space to breathe, room to grow. My phone buzzes. My mother. What are you three doing tomorrow? We'd love to take the kids to that new nature center. I text back, they'd love that. Want to come over for breakfast first? Perfect, I'll bring muffins, see you at 9. It's not the relationship I dreamed of as a kid, when I thought my parents would always see me as their perfect princess. But it's real, and it's growing, and it's built on honesty instead of expectations. That evening, after bath time and stories, I tuck Lucas into his dinosaur bed and Emma into hers. They're both drowsy, content from a day well spent. Mom, Emma's voice is sleepy, are you happy now? The question is more complex than she knows. Am I happy? Not because of money or success, but genuinely, deeply happy. Yeah, baby, I really am. Good, you smile more now, I like when you smile. After they're asleep, I pour myself a glass of wine, the nice kind, the kind I can afford now, and step onto the balcony. The city lights spread out before me, and somewhere in that grid of streets and buildings is the office where I still work, where Gerald Hendricks saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. I think about that letter he wrote, those words that I've read so many times I've memorized them. You are not just anything, Marianne Clark, you are remarkable. For the first time in my adult life, I believe it. Not because someone gave me money, though that helped. Not because my title changed or my parents started trying. But because I fought through years of exhaustion and dismissal and kept going. Because I raised two amazing kids while holding down a job and never lost my kindness. Because when life gave me a break, I had the character and competence to make the most of it. Gerald didn't make me remarkable. He just recognized what was already there. I'm 30 years old. I have 2 kids, a career I'm building, parents who are learning, and a future that's wide open. I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes, still struggle sometimes, still have days when the old fears creep in. But I'm not just anything anymore. Maybe I never was. The balcony door slides open behind me. Emma pads out in her bare feet, dragging her blanket. Can't sleep. Come here, baby. I lift her onto my lap, wrapping us both in the blanket. We sit together in the warm night air, mother and daughter, watching the city lights. Tell me again, she murmurs, about how Grandma and Grandpa are going to take us to the nature center. They're picking you up at 9. You'll see butterflies and maybe some baby birds. Will you come too? I have some errands to run, but I'll meet you for lunch after. How's that? Good, she's quiet for a moment. Mom, when I grow up, I want to be like you. My throat tightens. Yeah, why's that? Because you're brave, and you never give up, and you love us more than anything. I hold my daughter closer, breathing in the scent of her strawberry shampoo, feeling her heartbeat against mine. You know what, Emma? You're already like that. You're already brave and strong and loving. You're going to be amazing. We both are, she says with the certainty of a 9-year-old who believes in her mother. Yes, baby, we both are. Later, after I've carried her back to bed and kissed her forehead one more time, I return to the balcony. Alone now, I let myself feel the full weight of everything that's happened. The years of struggle, the dismissal and doubt, the unexpected gift that changed everything. But more than that, I feel something new, pride, not in the money or the title or even the vindication. Pride in who I became while I was struggling. Pride in the mother I've been to my children. Pride in the worker who showed up every day, even when it was hard. Pride in the woman who stood in her parents' living room and demanded respect. I am Marianne Clark. I'm a mother, a professional, a homeowner, a part owner of a successful business, and a graduate student working toward my MBA. I'm also still a secretary when the phones need answering and the tasks need doing. And there's no shame in that. There never was. The city glitters below me, full of possibility and promise. Tomorrow, I'll take my kids to breakfast with my parents. Next week, I'll tackle a new project at work. Next month, I'll submit my first MBA assignment. Next year, who knows? But tonight, I'm exactly where I need to be. Right here, in this moment, finally believing what Gerald Hendricks saw in me all along. I'm not just anything, I'm enough. I always was. If your family ever dismissed you as just something, remember this: your worth isn't defined by their vision. It's built by your character, your persistence, and how you show up every day. Are you brave enough to believe it?